I'm super excited today to show you a product that I've been waiting for a long time, and it's been around, but it's been out of stock, and I finally got my hands on one. Nowadays, webcams are freaking amazing. I tell people all the time that if I was going to rebuild my studio today, rather than use mirrorless camera, I'd probably use something like one of these webcams, especially those that have the PTZ. One of the things that comes up all the time for people who are trying to set up their studios or set up their live streams is wanting to use multiple webcams on the same computer. Now, in most cases, especially in the Mac environment, you can normally get down with about 2 before you start to run into some drama because of the way that the USB bus works on a computer. In non-nerdy speak, a USB bus is like lanes on a freeway, and on average, you can get about 2 lanes on your computer before it becomes too much traffic and you can't handle the data. Now, of course, you could plug many USB things into your computer and that's fine, but video is moving large amount of data at high speed and it just kind of clogs up the pipes, if you will. So, introducing this. This is the OBSBOT, that's just like the little camera here by OBSBOT, and this is a UVC to NDI converter. Now, let me explain that because that sounded like alphabet soup to some of y'all. UVC is a universal video connector, and whenever you take something like a camera like this, a little webcam, and you plug it in by a USB cable, let's see, I got one right here. When you plug it in, it basically takes the video signal and runs it down the USB cable. So whether you're using a cam link or some other form of capture card, those are basically converting HDMI into UVC. When you plug in your phone and it sends that video signal down the pipe, that's normally UVC. It's just how video travels over USB. And then NDI is network device interface, and that just basically means send video over a network connection, something like this little wee upside down Ethernet cable that I have right here. And you think of things like your Ring camera, your baby monitors, all of those are sort of a form of NDI. So let me show you why and how you'd want to do this. The first thing where this kind of comes in handy is if you need to plug in multiple USB webcams to a single computer, because once you get past more than 2, if you want to add a third or at a distance, when you try to put one of these, say like in the back of the room or something bigger like the overhead camera I'm using here, you try to put one of these guys in the back of the room, you're going to fail because, well, USB cables tend to crap out after 10 to 15 feet, depending on how good cables that you have. So if you need to get the camera further away, it's not going to happen. Well, you can use this because, well, Ethernet cable can normally get upwards of like 3,000 feet without any drama. So let me show you how this works. First thing we're going to do is plug in the old Ethernet cable right here. And I have this guy connected to my router. Now, this guy has, here comes another alphabet. This guy has a PoE connector, which means power over Ethernet. Unfortunately, this cable is not hot. It does not have power. But if you have a router that delivers PoE, or you have a PoE injector, which is like a power supply you can stick on the other end of the cable by the router, it would actually power this, and I won't even need the second USB-C cable I'm about to plug in. But let's plug this guy in. That covers the internet part, right? And yeah, don't do NDI over Wi-Fi. It can get a little bit goofy. Now, the second one here with the little lightning bolt, actually, let's switch to the overhead camera here real quick so you can see what we're doing. This little guy here with the lightning bolt, that's for power. And this guy with the bidirectional arrows, that's for data. So we're going to use that to send the data signal. So let's grab a power cable right here, and I'm going to plug this guy in. And then you see no lights or nothing happen here. You might see the network start to light up a little bit. Focus, Daniel-san. There you go. It's lighting up a little bit, and it tells you that there's room for the SD card because you can record directly to this guy if you wish. So now what I'm going to do is take this little OBSBOT Tiny 2 Lite, and I'm going to plug in the USB cable, and then I'm going to plug it into the adapter, and you'll see what will happen is this guy will twirl and twirl in a little bit, and it will wake up. Wake up, Maggie. There you go. As a little blue light is blinking right there, you'll see it's about to wake up. And let me lay it flat before I mess up the gimbal. And it takes a couple seconds to wake up. But once it wakes up, the light just turned green. I don't know if you can see that right there. The light turns green. That means this camera is now active and I could actually switch to it. How y'all doing? How y'all doing? Right? So this camera is now connected to the computer over this Ethernet cable, which means I could take this camera and put it way clear back here. Here, this is going to be super weird. Let me see if I can hold this at a distance and make it look at me. Hold on, here we go. Yeah, that guy. Now, I don't have this camera properly tuned. I guess I should have done that for the demonstration. But this allows you to connect this guy over Ethernet cable. So what does this mean? I want to connect a camera up outside, maybe looking at the doghouse, the bird feeder, the garden, whatever you're into, right? Maybe I want to put the camera up in the ceiling and have a better overhead shot, or from all the way back there to see the desk this way. Maybe I just want to put in, again, multiple cameras because I want to do like a 3-person podcast instead of my normal 2. I could pull out the extra camera and put it. And again, nowadays, with the right settings and stuff, webcams can look pretty good. I haven't dialed this one in, but I mean, the picture's good right now without touching it, but if I spend some time and dial this in, this picture could get even better. Webcams are pretty amazing. In fact, I have a video of this camera on my channel right now in the shorts feed where I said which of the cameras is that versus the Sony that I have back here, and nobody could tell the difference. More than 60% of the people got the answer wrong. So just telling you, webcams are the answer nowadays. They're so much better. It's not your Papa's potato cam. Since they look amazing, this little box right here can make your life even easier. Because of the cable distance that you can run with Ethernet, I could literally put this guy in another room and then, because it's wired on the same network, be good to go. Like, that's how cool it is. So that, my friends, is the OBSBOT. But hold on, wait. I wanted to show you one last thing before I run away. I almost forgot. This guy has what is known as a tally light. So let me come over here, and I'm going to drag this camera on because this is me talking to you guys down the pipe here. But watch, if I grab the camera that's connected to the webcam, watch the little light. Bing, the light comes on because the camera is active. If I turn the camera off, the light goes off. Bingo. So whenever you want to know if the camera is active, you have a tally light. Just like my other OBSBOT over here camera, it has a tally light too. That is the tail Air 2. And then one other thing that I want to show you, which I think is absolutely phenomenal about this guy, because I had a curious question. I were to take this cable right here and plug it in to everybody's favorite camera, the Osmo Pocket 3. So I'm going to plug it into the back, and within a couple seconds, the screen's going to come on, and it's going to tell me, well, I have to turn it on. It's going to tell me that I have to press the webcam option. And if I press that, actually, I must put the cable in after it's turned on. It's a weird quirk about the Osmo Pocket 3. And then, hey, come on, Maggie. Let me do that again. Sometimes it catches, sometimes it doesn't. There we go. It says webcam. I press the webcam screen. It says preparing webcam on there right now. And then this guy is about to become live and direct, which is cool because that means that I can put this guy clean across the room. Bingo. Whap, whap, whap it around. Turn it around. There we go. And so now I got my Osmo Pocket 3 on the gimbal. So with the long enough cable, I'm thinking about somebody that's doing kind of a kitchen stream. You know who I'm talking about. Yo, you could have your camera with a little bit of bass so you can run around. And what I would do is rig these two together so that the NDI adapter and the camera are stuck together. Like I could 3D print a little something and put that guy together. And then, fam, you're able, because this Ethernet cable is skinny, right? Nowadays they have really thin Ethernet cables. I can run around with my Osmo and get signal. Look at that. That is super cool. So that, my friends, is the OBSBOT UVC to NDI adapter. I will put links in the description so you can go and grab yourself one. And again, this is not a sponsored video at all, but OBSBOT, of course, did send me the device to share with you guys. I am super excited about this because this solves a lot of problem for a lot of people with live streaming setups, or you want to just record in various places. And again, with this guy plugged in, you could actually put in an SD card and record directly to the device. But if you have any questions, comments, or feedback, drop that down in the comments section below. Again, I'll put all the links in the description. And you know what I always say? I have no idea I need to hear this, but if it was you, let me know in the comments section below. Let me know what you're working on. And if you have any setup questions about your studio, live stream, pre-record, or video-based productions, holla at your mans. Let me know. I'll do what I can to answer your question as soon as possible. Right about now, the algorithm is going to show you another video they think you should watch, and I agree with them.
I need to know everything, who and the what and the where. I need everything. Trust me, I hear what you're saying, but act like it's new what you're telling me. I'm curious, George. I hop in the Porsche, 5 and a horse. I'm ready for war. I'm coming for throats to turn to a ghost. I need to know everything. Now you be surprised at the info you get is by letting them talk, so I'm letting them talk.